It's another beautiful day in the studios of TJ. I am your commander-in-chief. I am TJ. I am the kingpin of this content. And trust me, today on Naija Convo, I'm here, I'm joined by my brother, Ayobami, or popularly known as Drizzy, on set. And today we have a dissect. We have a topic we want to discuss on Naija Convo. If you just tuned in, this is Naija Convo. You can subscribe to the channel and then share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification button to get all the notifications you need when we post any new video. Okay, today on the bill, we want to discuss, a quite complicated issue which needs to be touched on. And I'm joined by my brother Drizzy. Before I do that, let me introduce my bro. Drizzy, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good, eh?
Yeah.
How's the feeling like?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's been.
All right. So you are welcome once again to my studio.
Sure, anytime.
And then trust me, we'll be doing more of this. What do you have to say to your Naija people?
Yeah, my Naija. I just wish them the best in whatever they do, because it's not easy out there. I can see their struggles and everything going on down there. So I'm throwing out my support to them. Just pray they remain strong and persevere throughout it all. Yeah. Sure.
All right, like I said, today we have something complicated, but we want to touch on it. The topic on board, we say, Sarkodie, Shatta, and Stonebwoy can fill the O2 Arena if. All right, there is an if clause there. So let me repeat it. Sarkodie, Shatta, and Stonebwoy can fill the O2 Arena if. I am here to digest it with my brother. Drizzy, let's discuss this topic. Yeah. Now, there's been a concern, in the industry of Ghana about Nigerians' ability to fill the O2 Arena. Mm-hmm. And I know it does not come on a silver platter, right? Yeah. Now, let's look at it from this angle. Are we putting pressure on our artists to do same? All right? Because all fingers are not the same. Like they say in the Akan language. Sure. So, are we putting pressure, on our artists to do more? Right? Yeah. What's your perspective on this?
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of pressure on Ghanaian artists to fill the O2 and other big capacity. I feel like the timing is not actually right for Ghanaians artists to fill the O2 right now. Okay. Because there used to be a time whereby they could have filled it easily. There was a time when the clout was on their side, but I feel like it has died down now. So I feel like they need to rebrand and regroup. I think that's the best thing for them to do now. There is no need for the pressure and all those things on it.
Okay, so comparatively, let's look at it this way. You see, we were having an off-camera discussion. And you mentioned the fact that the pressure on our artists is too much. We give them too much of pressure. Yeah. And you also mentioned the fact that even Ashake filling of O2 Arena was not on a silver platter. There were deliberate works behind the scene. Yeah. He realized when attempts were made or there were clarion call from the crowd, his supporters, to fill the arena, he realized he had a single and had to release a lot more songs to be able to do it. What's your take on that?
It's very true. Ashake failed the briefing last year, like 3 times. So after he sold out the first one, the second one, people were like clamoring for him to just that he should have gone for O2 straight. Okay. But I feel like he would have been I don't know what to say, like he wouldn't have failed it last year if he had tried last year, because he didn't have enough discography yet then. And I feel like the timing was not right, because he doesn't have enough songs, so there's no point in him rushing then. And the clout around him too was not that high, was not that much, and he needs to prepare very well. He needs to know his strength out there. He needs to know that maybe can I do this? Let me try with the less capacity venues first and see what I might do. So I think that's one thing that Ghanaians need to do. They need to go with the small capacity first. There's a lot of capacity. There's 5K capacity, 12.5 capacity. Yeah, you can start with a lesser cap and then you see where you go from there. That's the best thing I would say.
Okay. Now, there's this, like you said, the clarion call. There's this assertion, notion in Ghanaians. We push our artists to do same of Nigeria. We've forgotten that we started on a good note, right?
Yeah.
We started on a good note. We had Ahom Kawom, we had TikTok Fefenefe featuring Tony Tetwila. All right. We also try as use words which complicates our context in sentencing.
Yeah.
Now, we always say we dominated Nigeria in times of, or in the times of VVIP, now VVIP, and then TikTok. All right. Did we dominate Nigeria with Ahom Kawum and Nefe, or we had hit tracks that were hit songs in Nigeria?
It dominated the airways then. So, and then there was not too much digital then. So I think they actually dominated for a while because the song was always on the airways and because radio was dominant then. So I feel like they are in some way right when they say they dominated the airways. But it was not. It didn't last that long because it was a song can last maybe most like 6 months. So they just dominated for a little while, not for so long.
Okay.
Yeah. Because those artists didn't put more similar content, they didn't put more pressure and more stuff similar to those things. So they came and they went. So that's what I'll say.
Okay.
But I'd say for TikTok, I think TikTok actually dominated for a while because he had like 2 songs that was everywhere then. The one he did with Tony Tetula, that one it dominated. Yeah, it was good.
What about the other song? Is it Philomena?
Yeah.
Philomena.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. On that score, let's look at it from this angle. Since then, the era of TikTok, the era of VVIP, we've not been dominant as a force.
No.
Nigerians have done their bit. They've gone global. Now we are here, shading Nigerians as to coming to learn music from Ghana. We even say Fela was in Ghana to learn music. Now, is it this brouhaha about Nigerians learning in Ghana, this brouhaha about Nigerians coming to learn from us? Is it penchant on the fact that when any Nigeria comes to Ghana, or when any Nigeria comes to Ghana to probably do something, to call on Ghanaians, to have a courtesy call with Ghanaians, does it mean deliberately he's here to learn something?
No. Because there's one thing Nigeria does. It's not only Ghana they come to. They go to other countries. They go on African tour.
Okay.
So Nigerian being in Ghana doesn't mean he's actually here to build his craft. Yeah, he's building his craft fine, but not only in Ghana. It's not because of maybe Ghana has something. They have something to offer, but not solely. He's doing a media tour around Ghana and other African countries. So I feel like it's not only Ghana they go to other countries too, just to build the fan base. So this is in the process of getting that international acclamations, because when you build your fan bases here, when you build your fan bases in African countries, the international audience, the foreigners, the Ghanaians in UK, in other places, you promote it here, they get to see it over there too.
Okay.
So that's how they build. It's a gradual process. That's how they build their content over there, so that the international audience too might vibe with their stuff, because it's got promoted through Ghana. So I think that's the reason why Nigerians go to African or countries and just to promote, just for the international.
Okay. So basically, let's look at it this way. Basically, let's major on our topic now. We've dissected other areas. Let's major on our topic now. Now, our artists are very individualistic. I'm not saying it's bad to have your soul goal or your personal goals and achievements, right? But coming together to work in a common goal or work in a common goal is our problem. Now, Sarkodie started very well with Shatta. They even had hit songs starting off. Imagine if they had come together to project themselves gradually and be intentional about penetrating other places, going other countries, going international, would have had major hits, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at the topic. These are artists, Shatta, Stonebwoy, and then Sarkodie, together generate fan bases positively to fill the O2 arena?
I think it's possible when they chip in the ideas together and they just come together and collaborate. And I think their fans, when they come together, they could actually feel the O2, because each Stonebwoy has a big fan base in the UK now because recently he did a tour of UK stadiums. They went
he
to
filled
West Ham.
5K arenas, 2K arenas. That was not bad at all.
People feel 5K, start to maybe like 7K, and this like 8K. So if they come together, I feel like they can actually sell out the O2. But they need to work on themselves here first. Because I feel like before you go out there, can they sell out? Can they sell out Accra Sports Stadium? I know Shatta Stonebwoy has done it maybe like a couple of times, but they need to know how big they are at home before trying outside there. They need to know their reach. They need to know when they release songs, the amount of streams, and the one which comes from overseas, like the streams that comes from UK and stuff. So these are the criteria you need to know if you can actually sell the O2. So you need to put all these things together before you just jump. So you won't be. And you know one thing about Ghanaians is that when you try and you don't make it, they're gonna laugh about you. They won't try and be supportive and stuff. They're gonna laugh, even though they were the one pushing. You can see Ghanaians pushing the artists, putting pressure on them, and if they fail now, they will still laugh at them. And this is one thing. No,
our sense of patriotism. And this is why I'll chip in this. We are this. I wouldn't want to use this jargon. I want to be careful with my words. We are in this way, sort of naive in certain areas, and then we are picky. We have this sort of attitude where we push you to do this, and then we stand behind you and watch you fail and laugh, like you said. Now, this comes back to what I was discussing with you, BTS, behind the scene. After Rema had a successful event at the O2 Arena, Black Sherif tweeted on Twitter that he's next. And then we found a Ghanaian telling him, I don't want to quote what he said, but it was very negative. What is wrong? Because I see Black Sherif as the sole artist. We did a comparative, we compared Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, and then Shatta as 3-in-1 artists that can easily fail. Single-handedly is going to be difficult because their songs are not well known in the diaspora that much like Nigerians. So basically, Sherif alone is the only artist given time can pursue this agenda. What do you think?
I think Sherif could actually sell out the O2, but he needs to put in a lot of works. He has a long way to go. He's not as big as those that have sold out the O2 yet. He doesn't have enough works out there. He has just like one album and just like the Simmer Down and Yeah. So I think he's working on it. That's why he must have tweeted that. He knows. So, but he needs to do step by step. Maybe he wants to sell the lesser venues first, then later, maybe next year, or then they'll go for it. Because before Rema sold out the O2, somebody tweeted to Don Jazzy that when are they gonna see them at the O2? Like he wants Rema to sell out the O2. I think that was like 2020 thereabouts. And Don Jazzy commented that come soon. And as you can see, now he sold O2 this year. So that was like a 2-year space. It was like a 2-year space before he knew it has been in the works. So you need to build your brand. And before Rema because he was actually having a tough time selling out all the tickets, but he released an EP. And the cloud and the trend around it promoted more ticket sales. So these are the things that you need to push out your craft and attach it to something, as well as Ashake did. That was in August. He announced he was going to release an album. That's work of art. So he pushed that album with the venue all together, and it was quality work. So he pushed it together, and then that's how they do. That's how we do.
So from what I'm picking from what you are saying, filling the O2 Arena comes with a lot of work behind the scene. It's not just about talking about it.
No.
Now, to my viewers watching me, you see, some of us Ghanaians who are like-minded, who have positive energies, wouldn't want to go the way of creating negative content, just as it's been done, on the whole in Ghana. Some of us would want to, create positive contents, positive digest, where we can educate and then interrelate with people to build one quorum, which will help our artists to move forward, right? So we basically on these topics is to educate, because you wouldn't find a lot of these topics in Ghana. They are few. negativity sells in Ghana, as you know. All right. Okay, so Drizzy, let's come back to this point. There are a lot of works that needs to be done behind the scene. Let's commend Nigerians. I've been saying this all the time on my channel. They are doing it. Why can't our artists come to the point or come down to the point where they will feel like, let's ask positive questions. Let's also, just as we jab Nigerians with the fact that they came to learn from us, which I beg to differ anyway, let's also be intentional about going to Nigeria, associating ourselves, and then asking key questions that can aid to our industry.
Yeah, it's important. Ghanaians, I know criticism is part of it, because in as much you're in the media space, it comes with a lot of criticisms. But we Ghanaians need to do better. There are types of criticism. You don't need to criticize destructively. Criticize in a constructive way. So you confer, and then you tell people, you ask questions, as you say. So you criticize constructively, then you look for ways whereby you could make an impact in any way you can. So you don't just do negative stuff and feel like because people are humans. Your artists are humans. You being negative about them, it actually kills the spirit, because we don't know. Positive words has a lot of impact, whereas negative has a lot of impact too. So we need to be careful about the words, because the tongue has power. It kills dreams. So we need to be more conscious about things we say.
So if you just tuned in, we are having a Naija Convo, myself and then my brother Drizzy, known as Ayobami. One love, you get it. All right. So we're doing more of this. Let's carry on with some few questions that we sign out. Drizzy, the whole aspect of us dragging Nigerians into everything is becoming boring. You can see under my comment sections that Nigerians are beginning to get bored about every assertion or every notion or every comment of Ghanaians having a thing of Nigeria in it. Now, they are trying to tell us that we are too jealous and we can't focus on what we are doing. Now, one thing Nigerians get peeved at is at the fact that we also say they came to learn from us, blah, blah, blah. Why are we stuck? Why are we still at one place?
Ghanaians need to just move on. That's one thing I would say. Fine, maybe you brought this genre, you did this, you did that. You just need to move on. We see other African countries, they are doing well in their own space. They might not be as big as Nigeria, but they focus on themselves. They don't bother comparing or competing. They just want to focus and they just want to polish their craft and just put it out there. And they are doing good for themselves. We could see what Amapiano has done with South Africa has done with Amapiano. They're big brand right there now. So people are doing well for themselves. Well, you just need to focus on yourself, polish your craft, and put it out there, and people are gonna consume it. People are gonna fuck with it. So I feel like that's it.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So relatively, we are about to, bring the podcast to an end. But before we do that, I have two major questions for you. Sure. The sense of patriotism for Nigerians, the sense of belonging, the sense of defending their own, is something positive which is aiding to their industry. Can Ghana as a whole, all right, not compete with Nigeria? No. Can Ghana as a whole have their sense of patriotism and, like you said, do things on their own, in their own space, and succeed within that tangent?
Sure. Ghanaians are actually patriotic when it comes to stuff, actually, but they go about it the wrong way. That's what I say. Because when it comes to football, you can see how patriotic Ghanaians are compared to Nigerians. Nigerians don't actually know when it comes to football. But when it comes to music and stuff, I think Ghanaians need to just know the artist. And I think a lot actually, even Nigerians, there's also negative there. But one thing about this negative feedback they get from their fans and stuff is like, it pushes them to do more. They bring out more. But I think when Ghanaian artists are being trolled and stuff on social media and stuff, they take it to art. Instead of them to work on it more, work on their craft more, they take it to art and they get all gibberish about it. So I don't think it's not actually good. I think we just need to be careful about our words and stuff. Okay. Ghanaians can do better. Okay,
so on that note, let's look at the negativity in our space. You've been in Ghana for 9 years.
Yeah.
Comparing our negativity to that of Nigeria, how would you rate it?
It's as I said earlier, Nigerians do more of constructive criticism, and I think Ghana does the destructive ones. They like they just make things so down for you. They bring you so down. Because I think one of the reasons is the economy too has a lot to do with it. I think when people are sad, people say things. When people are hungry, people say things, even though they don't actually mean what they say. People want to trend online. People want to be banger. People want to do tweets that has a lot of retweets, and they have realized that that's what sells. So people say things, but doesn't actually mean that's how they feel about your music or stuff. So I feel like
they just want to trend with it.
Exactly. I feel like Ghanaian artists shouldn't take it to art when people see those things, because you feel like deep down they don't actually mean it. You just continue with your craft and just put out quality, and don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positives.
How we defend our own on our space. That sense of patriotism, is embedded in Nigerians. They have it.
Yeah.
They defend their own.
True.
Right? Whereas we are the Judases of our own. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, that brings me to my final question. We should stop comparing. We should be in our space. Right? I said this the last time. Activate Stonebwoy Davido, best. Right?
Yeah.
Sarkodie, Rude Boy, Lucky, best. That is the way. That's the lead way. Positivity. With the pace Nigerians are moving at, trust me, we are not catching them anywhere. And they are not stopping at any time. Just be in your lane. This brings me to my final question. A word of advice to the Ghana music industry.
The advice I'd give is for Ghanaian industry to just to know what you do. I didn't get the question.
A word of advice to the Ghana music industry.
Ghana music industry need to focus on themselves. We don't see Nigerians on social media. We don't see our pundits, our entertainment pundits, going about
shading Ghana,
talking about Ghana music industry. They just focus on themselves. They push their craft out there and just sell. That's what Nigerians do. We don't see them babbling and going all about it and stuff. No, we don't do that. We just focus on our things because we know that we're heading for greater heights. We're going for bigger things. So I think that's what Ghanaians need to do. I think that's what Ghana as an entertainment industry need to do.
We need to defend our own.
We need to defend, because we don't see even normal Nigerians. We don't let anything come to our artists. We don't accept anything from other African countries. We don't let them bully,
barge into your industry.
We can do it ourselves, but we won't let an foreigner intrude or talk bad about an artist. That's something we will never take. And I think Ghanaians need to be more supportive of their artists, to push them more out there, because Nigerians see these things, these tweets and all these things Ghanaians do. So when you talk about your artists this way, how are we supposed to feel about those artists? So but when you push your things, when you push them out, when you promote them, then Nigerians will also feel and also support those artists, because they feel like the energy is there, the support is there. That's what happens. That's what I would say.
Okay. So wonderful discussion today. We can fill the O2 arena are we willing to learn from Nigeria? We call them our brothers, which of late I don't think we are brothers to Nigerians, because we seem to be throwing gunshots at our brothers, which is not necessary. But a few like-minded Ghanaians like us are going to stand and maintain, a good, interrelation between us and them. No bad, blood between us and Nigerians. All right? No bad blood. All right? Leave them to enjoy their success. And I will say this on my channel like 500 million times if I have to. Nigerians are the ish. Learn from them. My brother Dreezy is here. He's a Nigerian. There is no bad blood between us. He says things, I pick on it and I learn from it. That is the way to go. The negativity is too much. The negative comments are too much. Leave Nigerians to enjoy.
And one thing I'll say is like Nigerians worked their way to this place. They didn't just get to this level just here, because we could see Wizkid, Olamide, Davido and stuff. These people have put in the work over the years. They didn't just all of a sudden just got to that stage. They've been putting the works, background works and underground works. So I feel like we need to just come and take it slow. Ghanaians need to work to that level. So that's what I'll say. It's not a day's work.
All right, that's a wonderful submission from my brother Dreezy, aka Ayobami. My name has always been TJ. Why? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the notification button to get notified whenever I post new videos. Trust me, like I said, Naija Convo is here to stay. And trust me, if it's positive, we're going to deal with it. If it's negative, we're going to come back and make sure we drop that ego of our negative lifestyle. Yeah. I am TJ. My guest today is Ayobami Drizzy. We'll be doing more of this, trust me, on this channel. Peace out. I salute. Sure.